Oh my goodness, welcome back. Today we are doing Fairy Tale Magistus test hands with the goal of making the Zorora Synchro at the end. If you haven't read this guy, he basically says that any Magistus monsters that are equipped to him, your opponent cannot activate the effect of monsters that share the same type. So basically, if you equip a Link to the Zorora Synchro, then your opponent can't activate the effect of Link monsters. If you equip a Fusion, they can't. It's like a pseudo floodgate, in my opinion. I think it's really good. I can never figure out how to get into it at the end, though. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my deck first, what I'm working with. And then we'll do a couple test hands just to see consistency and to see if I can try to prioritize making an end board that includes all of the regular good Fairy Tale Magistus stuff and also includes the Zorora Synchro. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the deck list part. So this is the Fairy Tale part, Jania, 2 Jania of the Rings. She's basically an obligatory Fairy Tale. She has 1850 attack, and also she has the ability that you can target a monster, change it into a spellcaster, and special summon herself. I am only running 2. 1 Snow. Yes, this is a QCR Snow. I was definitely part of the craze that when it got unbanned, I bought one. 3 Shiny Lunas. I'm only running 2 Match Girls. I think that could be up for debate on doing another one. And then as far as other Fairy Tale cards, 1 Tales of the Fairy Tale. Because you can equip this from graveyard, you really do only need 1. 3 Fairy Tale Balls. You can only activate this card once per turn, which is why I think running 3 is so important. You can only activate 1 Fairy Tale Ball per turn. So running 3, this is how you go for game because this allows you to attack directly. And then 1 Once Upon a Fairy Tale. I was not using this card very much. I haven't been like prioritizing sending it to grave to set it, but I've been trying on Omega. It's actually pretty good. So basically this card allows you to set it from banishment or grave. The issue I run into is you have to control a Fairy Tale monster to activate it. So this is like the Fairy Tale part of the engine. And next I'm going to show you the Magistus part. So I am running a pretty heavy Magistus package, I think, in comparison to what other deck lists are doing. I'm not entirely sure, but I am running 3 Spentas. Yes, 3 shiny Spentas. I am now running 2 Zororas. Okay, I was running 1, but for the sake of trying to get into the Zorora Synchro, I've included 2. We're going to see how it works. My boyfriend does not think it is necessary to run 2. I think it is because you need to have a tuner to go into that synchro, and I use 1 of the Zororas for just the regular combo, so having another one. 1 Bald Boy Crowley. I don't know why. I call him Bald. He's bald. And then we have 1 Little Rigatoni, 1 Reliona. Honorary Magistus is we have Jenny from the block. She allows you to copy a Witchcraft or a Magistus spell. And then on that note, the spell that we copy is we are running 3 Vers. So this is the Magistus portion of the deck. The next 3 cards are just like a little sauce that I like, basically because I feel like this deck going second really struggles. So running 2 Ecclesias and 1 Fallen, because Incredible Ecclesia says you can special summon her if your opponent controls more cards than you do. And then they're both level 4s. She is a spellcaster with Jania. You can make him into a spellcaster. This could change. Honestly, all of it could change, but this is what I have so far. So that is what I would call like the archetype part. You have the Fairy Tale part, the Magistus part, and then just the 3 little Ecclesia part. And then here is just like hand traps and spells. 3 Super Polys. 2 Droll. Droll being a spellcaster does make being able to fuse into stuff helpful. 3 Fuas. Now, the reason for maining Fua, because I was pretty anti-maining Fua in Malice. I still don't think Fua needs to be mained in Malice, but Fua's a level 4, and Fua plus the Jania of the Ring allows you to basically go full combo because make him into a spellcaster, 2 level 4 spellcasters, 3 Ashes, and then this again is another part of the deck that's kind of gone through a couple renditions, a couple little changes. I was doing 2 ghost spells, but what I'm doing is 1 instant fusion. This is the speed duel one. Ooh, look how pretty it is. 1 instant fusion, and I am maining 1 called by. again, up for changes. These 2 cards, the 3 like Ecclesia, 2 Ecclesia, 1 White Dragon, up for debate. So that's the main deck. We are at exactly 40. Let me go ahead and show you the extra. So extra deck also has been through a couple revisions. So I'm playing 2 Weavers. I was playing 2 Tellers, but I feel like the extra deck is, I'm struggling to fit in everything I want to fit. So I'm playing 2 Weavers. I do think this is important for the crackback, as they say. 1 Teller, 1 Wiccat, and that's it for like Fairy Tale extra deck. So 4 cards out of the extra deck are for Fairy Tale. And then in terms of Magistus, 1 Ninaruru. Her equip ability, so let me read it. It says you can target 1 Magistus card in your spell and trap zone and 1 spell trap your opponent controls and destroy them. So she's good as an equip because she's a rock. It makes it tricky with the spellcaster locks, but she does also let you detach 1 material, target 1 level 4 or higher spellcaster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So, and then here's one of the stars of what we're going to be trying to do today is Big Rigatoni. So Big Rig says that you can detach material and then summon a, what is her exact wording? Such summon 1 Magistus monster from your deck, but then you're locked into Magistus. So my thinking is to get into the Synchro, you use this at the end as an overlay, and then you summon a Zorora, and then boom, you get into the Synchro. That's the plan. That's the theory. Here is the star of the show, the Zorora Synchro. Really trying to prioritize ending on him. I think even, yes, it dies to a Harpy's Feather Duster, but alas, I think it still requires then the interruption. And if they had the Feather Duster, they were going to Feather Duster anyway. Here's the Synchro that we attach to turn off Cool Tunes from having access to Synchros. And then we have our Chorizo. This is a great Super Poly target. Great Super Poly target. And the fact that you can contact fuse. We have the Zorora Monster Negate Fusion. The Invoked, because there are some lines with doing the Zorora. I just haven't practiced a lot of the Magistus lines, honestly. So in this video, I really want to prioritize ending on him, but I do also want to practice doing the Invoked and Zorora little wombo combo. And then we have 1 Artemis. I was running 2. Again, the extra is kind of tight. So 1 Artemis, 1 Endymion, necessary for if you super brick. And then I put in 2 super poly targets. I do have a Theseus in the side. I'm not going to show you the side in this video because it's not really fleshed out. It was kind of thrown together for locals. But I do have a Theseus. I personally don't feel like it's worth maining it unless I know I'm going to a place where basically like I think everyone's going to be on Cool Tunes. So yeah, that's the deck. Let's shuffle her up and get into some test hands. Okay, did a good pile shuffle. I am going to attempt to think about hand traps with doing these test hands, but again, the purpose for these test hands for me is really to try to get into the Zorora Synchro and see what kind of end board I can end on. While I do realize it is important to practice thinking about if this gets hand trapped, that's not really my goal. So yes, I'm sure there will be combos I do where it's like, that would die to 1 droll. Yeah, probably. We'll work through that in a separate video. Okay, did a pile shuffle, did a shuffle. I'll do a nice little cut. Let's see. You hate to see it. You hate to draw into that. What is this? Come on, Jania. Okay. Wow. This is a hand. This is definitely a hand. Honestly, okay, give me a second to think if there's anything in terms of going first and trying to establish any kind of board state. I don't think we have anything because even going into the Artemis requires going into the Endymion first, which needs 2 monsters, and I don't see a way we get 2 out from this. So, folks, I think this is what we like to call a brick. Sometimes you just brick. I personally think going first with this hand, even it's not worth attempting anything. I honestly think you just pass and you Fua. See how much they're going to respect the Fua, and then you still have the Ash to stop a search, and then I think like worst case scenario, you droll. Granted, drolling your Drolling means you're not going to get the draws off to Fua. But yeah, there is really no way to get... This is a brick. Okay. Let's try it again. That was just a brick hand. I promise it should not be bricking this hard. I'm only playing what? The Fuas, the Ashes are like the only like technically hand traps, I guess, called by a brick. Okay, let's try it again. Give it a good shuffle. Okay. Give me something I can actually play with. That would be nice. Oh, snow again. Okay, Ved, this is already looking better. Ash, instant fusion. Jenny. Okay. This is at least playable. It's not the best hand, but this is at least a playable hand. So the thing with Ved that makes just like practicing a little difficult is really, I think, where her power comes from on your turn is that second line that she has that says when your opponent activates a card or effect. Let's see if I can get it to actually like focus. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special. There we go. When your opponent activates card or effect, special summon one Magistus or Witchcraft or monster from your hand or deck. So you can chain this. So if they Fua, you chain Ved. If they Ash, you chain Ved. If they do Bestial, you chain Ved in order to special. So with this hand, I need to figure out how to get Jenny into Grave to copy the Ved. Okay. I think if we're trying to play around things, I feel like you have to start with, I feel like I have to start with the instant fusion, personally. So I think what I would do is we start with instant fusion. Now, it's important to note that at instant fusion, the monster is going to go to graveyard at the end. So this is, again, why I like running 2 Weavers. I would then do Weaver, and then Weaver to special from deck. The reason I'm thinking of doing this is because I'm really leaning into being able to respond with Ved. So the thing about Ved, in order to do the first one, it's if you control a Magistus or Witchcrafter monster. So actually, sorry, I'm going to take this back. I think the better play, kind of risky, but I think you have to normal Jenny. I think you normal Jenny because she's a Witchcrafter, and that means you can then activate Ved to send one spellcaster monster or spell. Now, pretty sure the instant fusion is going to go through. I'm not sure what, let me know what like can stop the instant fusion. But because you can send any spellcaster or spell, this is where I would actually send Match Girl. Because Match Girl, you can summon her from Grave. So I'd leave out Jenny as my normal in order to just get Match Girl in Grave. If something stops the Ved from sending Match Girl to Grave, this is where then with the instant fusion, ignition effect of Weaver, you can special summon a Fairy Tale monster from deck. So you could just special the Match Girl and get the search that way. But this kind of is going to like force interaction. If they're going to stop you from sending the Match Girl, or if they're going to stop the Match Girl from getting specialed, you can still get the Match Girl out with the Weaver off of the instant fusion. So since I have Match Girl in Grave, I actually do not think that's what I'll summon off of the Weaver. I guess we'll go into Luna. Now her effect is only when she's normal summoned. Okay, do I do the overlay because Weaver is going to get... I almost feel like leaving the Match Girl in Grave might be the better play in order to try to like keep momentum going for later. So then what I think I would do is I can then overlay Weaver and Luna into Wiccat. Again, that Weaver off instant fusion is going to go to the grave at the end anyway, so trying to prioritize having that just like, it's going to go anyway. We're not going to be able to keep her. So then we detach 2 as cost for Wiccat to send 2. So Match Girl's already in grave, so I think this is where Do we prioritize 2 fusions? If I'm going first, then being able to get into another Weaver. This is a tricky one because the match. So what I'm debating is Match Girl can either search Ball or can search Tails. Tails, if we send it to Grave off Wiccat, you're only going to get 1 fusion because it's going to equip itself. You're going to get 1 fusion and that's it. Versus if you search it, you're going to end up with 2 fusions. I definitely think because normally I would send Snow, but Snow's in hand right now. But we will be able to fuse with her, so we'll get her into the grave. So I'm definitely going to send Once Upon a Fairy Tale because then that'll get set for the next turn. It's just a matter of, do I send Tails? I don't think I'm going to send Tails. I think I'm going to search it, which may... Because, like, you're not going to... The thing with Ball is this is, like, how you go for game. So I actually think I'm going to send another Match Girl just to try to have... I'm only playing 2, though, so this might be a little risky. Just to try to have another one in grave for next turn in order to summon back. So then this will trigger... Once Upon a Fairy Tale will set itself. If you control a Fairy Tale monster, you can special a light Fairy Tale from hand, grave, and or banishment. So you can get 3 summons off this if you're good with it. And then let's go ahead and activate Match Girl. She will special herself from grave. So this is where the choice came. Let's say they ghost spell that, and I do not have the fusion spell in grave. I could still go into Magistus stuff because I could do these 2 into Endymion. And then Endymion... No, sorry, one of these into Artemis. I could still do 1 into Artemis, and then Artemis and the other one, 1 level 4 or lower. So I could do Jenny into Artemis, and then I could do Artemis and Wiccat into... oh, I can't because she's not a level 4 spellcaster. So actually, it might have not, like, this would kind of, I think, die if the Match Girl got ghost spelled, because you wouldn't be able to get... I really need the Jenny in grave. Well, so I could, wait. I could still get the Jenny in grave because I could Jenny into Artemis and then Ved, copy Jenny, get another, we'd be fine. We'd actually be fine. But let's say, again, let's say for the sake of this, that we're fine. Match Girl comes back. We search Tails. Because I have to remember that too, is once the Jenny's in grave, I'm going to get another monster out because I'm going to copy Ved. So let's go ahead and equip Tails to Wiccat and let's fuse. I really want to get rid of this Snow in my hand because this does a lot more work in the graveyard than it's going to do in my hand. And let's fuse. We already used Weaver's ability. So I'm debating, but she is a negate if she stays on the field. I think since we searched it, might as well do both. Let's try it. We're going to try it. Okay. So let's do, she takes 1 Fairy Tale monster and a Spellcaster monster. I think we're actually going to do, let's not do Snow on this one. I need to get the Jenny engraved. So let's do, this is the Spellcaster. This is the Fairy Tale. We also need to get this engraved. So you have to fuse with whatever you equip it to. That's super important. We'll go Weaver. Weaver cannot do her effect because we already did hers off of the instant fusion. Let me make sure it is just once per turn. If you normally special summon a non-earth, during your main phase, you can special summon 1 card. You can only use this effective Weaver Fairy Tales once per turn. So the negate and rename is a soft once per turn. So if I summon a non-earth Fairy Tale while she's on the field, then I can negate and rename Prince Fairy something. That's a soft once per turn. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and equip the Tails. I'm actually going to equip it to the Weaver. So that way it stays because it gives plus 1,000. So it just makes her beefy. And now we can use Match Girl and Snow to go into Teller. So here's where I guess technical end board could be. Fairy Tale Ball is another negate. So I really think there's a conversation to be had about, should I have searched Tails or should I have searched Fairy Tale? What do we think is going to be better? I still have Ash in hand though, so can't forget that. I do also have a way to trigger the Weaver to get at least 1 negate. And I also have Snow engraved. But I want to try to prioritize getting into the Zerora Synchro. So let's go ahead, and now that we We're spellcaster locked, which is fine though, but we're gonna end up getting Magistus locked. So you wanna make sure you kind of have this board done and ready. So let's go ahead and Jenny copy vid. Honestly, drawing the normal summoning, that was a lot smarter. And we're gonna do the effect to special. We are going to special. Okay, this is a hard one because if I special the rigatoni, no, I won't be able to get the Zorora. It's not actually that much of a decision, girl. You got one choice if you want to get that tuner out here. So let's go ahead and get the Zorora. And Zorora is going to target himself. Target one Magistus monster you control. Equip it with one Magistus monster from your extra deck. So I just had a brain blast. That's why I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I feel like it's so fun to do this. Okay, target Zorora, equip the Artemis. Artemis, effect to search. I think at this point I would have been ashed. Like, that's the other thing too, is the further I get into the combo, I'm like, if this is the thing that gets ashed. Whale. I mean, I still have enough monsters that if I wanted to not end on the Weaver, I could, but I don't know if that's a good choice. Okay, we're gonna search Crowley because that's gonna allow us to special. Where's that bald baby? Where's the bald baby? We're gonna search Crowley. And then Crowley is going to allow us to special himself. We're not going to do the effect to fuse. You could. I mean, this is where if you wanted to prioritize fusing into the negate, you could. But we're trying to do the synchro because I think the synchro is, I think a lot of people don't realize that that's what the synchro does. And so it forces you to deal with it, which leaves open then the fairy, the teller negate, the weaver negate, I just think it's something like it's going to force you to deal with that and use interaction. So I actually didn't even need, because my plan was if I couldn't get the Zorora out, the plan was to big rig the Zorora. I mean, so I'm not Magistus locked yet. I could technically still make her and detach. I think that's convoluted. Let's not make it convoluted. Let's not do steps for the sake of doing steps. Okay, one spellcaster tuner and one non-tuner. Spellcaster tuner, non-tuner. We're gonna go ahead and go into, wait a second. Could we fuse into the invoked? If this fusion's card is destroyed by battle or card effect. No, I think you go the other way with the synchro. Is that... This card's in your graveyard. You can target one Magistus card you control. Yeah, I think you have to go the other way. I think you do this first. You use him as fusion material, and then you target Pop and he comes back. Let me know if you're seeing lines I'm not seeing. The power of multiple brains thinking all at the same time. Okay, Zorora effect. You can target one. No. If this card's Synchro Summon, you can equip one Magistus monster from your extra deck to this card. Okay, so here's where it is dependent on what you are playing against. So, very powerful. Also, look at my oversleeves. Very cute. Here's where it's dependent, okay? If you are playing... So notice we don't still have Artemis. That's a lie. We can get her back, though. So, if you are playing against branded... I would equip the fusion, okay? Because they're fusion dependent. If you're playing against Cool Tunes, I would equip the synchro. Also, if you're playing against Elf Notes, I would equip the synchro. Now, we actually don't have another way. We don't have Rigatoni and we don't have Spenta. So if you end up with Rigatoni engrave or Spenta engrave, that's another way to get another equip. So like in this situation, we have to just be like, we have to pick one. But see, there's more choices. So if you want to shut off your opponent from being able to activate synchros or fusions, you can equip that. If for some reason this was a going second turn, Big Rigatoni says you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of the turn. So we would have wanted to prioritize this. Like if you're going to use this as an equip, you should probably prioritize it. So let's say we didn't need to go into Crowley. Let's say we just wanted to equip this to negate something. Ninaru does say that you can target one Magistus card and one spell and trap. One Magistus card in your spell trap zone and one spell trap your opponent controls and destroy them. Again, this is just on your turn though. So I would say at this point we need to equip something to shut off the opponent. So I'm assuming they're playing synchros. We're gonna do the synchro equip. And then this is end board. So what are we looking at? We're looking at an unknown Ash in hand. They cannot activate the effects of synchros. We have an Omni negate and destroy by banishing a fairy tale monster in grave. We have Once Upon a Fairy Tale, which is going to let us summon from banishment and grave. So the way I would play it is negate and destroy first. So you get a banish. So I might even just banish the match girl because I want to leave one in grave for the next turn because she can summon herself. So you would negate and destroy, something they do. And then you could Once Upon a Fairy Tale. So Once Upon a Fairy Tale is another way to get out snow without having to banish a lot. So because the negate and rename is a soft once per turn, there is a world, and you do have the space for it, where you Once Upon a Fairy Tale and you only summon from banishment the match girl. And then you match girl, search ball, so you're ready for the next turn to go for game because ball is going to let you attack directly. And then Once Upon a Fairy Tale, if it's banished, it's going to reset itself. So that's why I'm saying you could just make sure you do Teller first to banish. Match Girl Summon, that is going to trigger Weaver. Let me read her to you. If you normal or special summon a non-earth fairy tale monster while this card is in the monster zone, except during the damage step, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effect, and also its name becomes Prince of Fairies. That's also really powerful if you are playing against any... Sorry, I got a phone call. So that's really powerful if you're playing against anything that needs to have its name be its name. Branded, Doomsy, anything that's like Regina, to rename it. So then also in this world, because you kept Snow, you can do it again. And then you can banish the Once Upon, which will end up getting itself back. Again, we want to leave Match Girl. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Technically, you could also do the Teller because you've already used her effect, but let's say we don't want to do that. So we can summon Snow. My zones are like all off. Snow would go over here. And then Once Upon would reset. And then, yeah. So basic end board is looking like this. I think it's pretty good. And we got him out. We'll try another one though. It was a spam call. The disrespect of the spam call. So I have like the good camera for the cards, and then I have my phone for my face. I probably should, admittedly, turn it on to like do not disturb when I'm filming. But, oh wait, let's try another one. Let's shuffle her up, shuffle her up, shuffle her up. And see what we can do. I do want to make one of these videos actually thinking about hand traps and how we could, like, if I got ashed here, if this happened, you know what I mean? Like all that good stuff. But I really do want to see if having the 2 Zororas is kind of necessary, worth it. I mean, I think it's worth it because often with the Spenta combo, I already go through 1 Zorora. And so I think I need another one. Okay. Ooh, Super Poly. Ecclesia. Super Poly. Rigatoni. Luna. Okay, if we're going second, then this is the special summon to get into the Fallen. And then actually, I haven't fully thought out through the best thing. Let's say we're going first, though. Okay, I'm stuck between which of these is the best to normal summon because of if they get ashed, we're kind of done. And this has to be from field. So it's like if I just have one monster out and then I'm gonna super poly, like that's not how that is gonna work. Luna will get me into Match Girl. This will get me into Vad. I don't have any way of dodging the Ash. This is a hand that dies to Ash pretty bad, which is kind of an issue that honestly this deck tends to have. Ugh. I guess the only thing... This only equips from Grave. I'm trying to think if it did get ashed, what would be the better choice? Like, because really all I could go into with one would be Artemis. And that's not gonna get me much of anywhere. Okay, let's just like hope and pray they don't have the ash. Granted, we could set a super poly. So we're not entirely... We're gonna normal Luna. We're gonna search. We get ashed, we set super poly, we pass. But let's hope we don't get ashed. We're gonna search Match Girl. We are going to activate Match Girl in hand to special, and then we are going to search. Let's try Ball this time, so we end on another negate. Actually, this is gonna also allow us to get another Luna search later. I'll show you how. So we activate Ball. We can only activate once per turn, and on activation, we're gonna add a Luna. So let's do Luna, add to our hand. We're gonna overlay into Wiccat. Also at this point, we are spellcaster locked because of Match Girl specialing. That is, she will spellcaster lock you. Wiccat, discard 2, or not discard, detach 2 materials. Let's send... Do I want to send Snow? I don't know if I have a way to get Snow and Grave outside of this exact moment. Well, no, I do. I think I do. So I think we send Tails and we send Once Upon a Time, or Once Upon a Fairy Tale. This will trigger Once Upon a Fairy Tale to set itself. Tails has the second part of... If this card's in your graveyard, you can equip this card to one Fairy Tale monster on the field. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one spellcaster with 1850. And so we equip it. We normal Luna. Luna's normal summon search is not once per turn. So this is how we're going to get Snow in hand. And then we will use her to fuse to get her in graveyard. Where'd she go? There she is. Okay. So, at this point, we'll fuse. I think I want to use more stuff in hand than not. Like, obviously, I need to keep something for the Super Poly discard, but I could keep Super Poly for the Super Poly discard. Because I want to try to prioritize the Zerora Synchro, and I will have to use Big Rig to do it this time, I need to have a good amount of material out. So I think going into Weaver... I think if I want to prioritize the Synchro. Like, I could go into Teller and have the negate, but I think Weaver is going to have to be the play. So she takes a Fairy Tale monster and a Spellcaster. So... Oh, wait, because Riliona is going to allow... Ooh, that might be good. I'm going to do these two. Because you can do from hand, right? Let me make sure I'm not cheating. You can fusion summon one Spellcaster fusion from your extra deck using monsters from hand, field, and or Prince of Fairies. Okay, so we'll go into Weaver. Weaver Ignition is going to allow us to special another Fairy Tale. I wonder if I should have searched Jenny off the Luna. No, I think I need Snow. I think having Snow engraved is worth it. Luna lets you just search a spellcaster. So that's how you get not Jenny. I call both of them Jenny. Jenny of the Ring and Jenny. They're both Jenny, 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 Jenny. Let's do another Luna. Why not? Why not? We'll do another Luna. Oh, this is my Once Upon that's set. Okay. So from here is where we're going to get ourselves Magistus locked. I want to leave Weaver out. Wiccat does protect your light monsters, but she's not a level 4. She's rank 4. So I can't use her for Rigatoni. 2 level 4 spellcasters with different attributes. I have to use the Weaver. Is that worth? Jania is Earth. Okay. We're gonna back it up. We gotta back it up. Sorry, we have to back it up. I think off of the Luna, I needed to not search Snow. So let's back it up to Luna search. So equip. What is this? Oh, that's the Luna. So let's back it up to equip. normal summon, search. I think I need to search Jania because I need 2 level 4 with different attributes, and I'd rather not use the Weaver. So let's search Jania. Okay. Now we can fuse, and we could still, because Weaver just needs a fairy tale monster and a spellcaster. So I think at this point we could still use the Rigatoni, and I think we use the Wiccat. I mean, yes, this gives 1,000, but it's already served its purpose. I think we use the Rigatoni and the Wiccat to go into Weaver. And then Weaver can summon Snow. Wait a second. And then Weaver can summon Snow. And then this goes to grave. That was on the Wiccat. There is a world where I can get Snow in grave now, because then Jania, we can target the Snow, we can target any of them, and special. And now we have 2 level 4 spellcasters with different attributes because Jania is Earth. And we can overlay her and Snow into Big Rigatoni. She says you can attach 1 material from this card, special summon 1 Magistus monster from your deck. What do we have to detach the Snow, right? Like, we have to detach the Snow. And then this gets us into Zorora. And then, I mean, once you can get the Zorora out. So I feel like maybe I should like force a hand with Spenta. The reason I put 2 Zororas is because Zorora is key to the Spenta play, and then you run out of Zororas. Because then Zorora target himself. Let me move my hand. Target himself to equip with Artemis. Artemis to search the Crowley. Could we actually fuse here and still get into the Synchro? Because what if we Crowley, what does the negate take? Because could I use her? Where are you? What does the Zorora one take? 1 Magistus monster and a fusion. See, wait a second. Crowley effect. What if we do fuse? Because I can still use Luna and Zorora to go into, wait a second. We might, am I a Bebe genius? I'm going to put him up here though, for the sake of not filling up my zones. You can target 1 effect monster in your graveyard or your opponent controls, equip that effect monster to this card. I want to do a Magistus so that way I can, oh my gosh, wait, hold on. Let's get Rigatoni equipped. So we'll equip to the Zorora. And now we still have materials. We have a tuner and a non-tuner. Oh, if I'm level modulated though, don't even get me started on if Cool Tunes or Alphino is level modulating me, because then we're out of luck on that regard. Because then I can use these 2 to go into the Zorora. And then Zorora, let's say we want to... So right now, my opponent can't Exes or... can't activate the effects of Exes or Synchros. Which is pretty good, because then the other thing is now that Rigatoni's in grave, we can banish Rigatoni and we can equip the Artemis. So we have them shut off from Link activation. Like, they have to deal with this unless it's branded. But if you know you're playing branded, then this would be a fusion. If you don't know you're playing branded, sorry. But I think this would be end board, because what we're looking at is we still control a fairy tale, so we can Once Upon a Time. Oh wait, this is an end board. Let's set the Super Poly, and we still have 2 cards in hand. We have I would keep the Ecclesia, so I would just discard the other Super Poly. So we have a Super Poly set. We have a when your opponent. What does this actually say? Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster and you control a fairy tale monster, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects, and rename it. Let's say they have a way of getting rid of our Weaver. We have Snow, because that is the thing. Once Upon a Fairy Tale and Fairy Tale Ball require you to have a fairy tale monster, but that's why it's important to get Snow in grave. We would like to use Once Upon first, because then we could banish Once Upon for Snow and then it'll get reset. But we still have 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't want to banish this. 6, 7. We have 8. And Jania, if you haven't read Jania, She says, if this card is tributed or banished to activate a spellcaster monster's effect, you can add this card to your hand. So she's a great one to banish off Snow because you're going to get her back. So if they get rid of the Weaver, we do have a way of getting a fairy tale monster back out. So when they special summon, we can negate and rename. We have a monster negate. I think this is during main phase only though. Let me read. No, when a monster effect is activated, quick effect, you can send one face-up Magistus card you control to the graveyard, negate that effect, and then you can destroy one card your opponent controls. So we have that. This equip does not do anything on your opponent's turn. This equip, while this is an equip card, the equip monster cannot be destroyed by your opponent's spell, traps, effects. Wait a second. Okay, that's pretty cool. So they can't get rid of the... Heartbeat Feather Duster is going to ruin our lives, though. I will tell you that much. That when you're playing... I think if you're playing any spell dependent, it's a lot of spells. So we have Monster Negate and Destroy. Monster Negate and Rename. This is... we can do it twice, because if we Once Upon a Fairy Tale and we summon from grave the Luna, which would be great because then that's another interruption because she has the quick effect rename. So Luna says you can add one spellcaster monster with 1850 from your deck to your hand if it's normal summoned. Once per turn quick effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Your opponent can send one card with that monster's name from their deck or extra deck to the graveyard to negate this effect. Otherwise, return both to hand. So you use this if it's like an extra deck monster and you're like, I'm pretty sure you only play one of those. So we could Once Upon to bring out the Luna. Then that would trigger Weaver for a negate and rename. We still have Snow, which is also going to Book of Moon. 2, 3, I want to leave this. 4, 5, 6. We could do something from field. Like if we needed to do Luna, we could do it from field. I think I'd have to do the Match Girl at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get Snow out. And that also has a trigger effect for these two because Jania will add itself and Once Upon a Time will set itself. You want to leave Tails. That gets banished. You don't want that to get banished. Oh, and we have Super Poly. I feel like that's a crazy strong board. Granted, uninterrupted, but we're always hoping to be uninterrupted, aren't we? We're always hoping to be uninterrupted. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. I am going to force a Spenta in my hand though. That's the whole reason I did 2 Zororas, because right now it's definitely seeming like, girl, you do not need the 2 Zororas. But the thing with the Spenta combo is I do think I'm gonna need 2 Zororas, but I'm also not entirely sure if it even works. I don't know. I'm gonna force the Spenta combo hand. So we'll shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I'll only draw 4. Because this is honestly the reason why I even put another Zorora in. Let's do 4. Of course, and we draw the Spenta. And we draw the Spenta anyway. Okay, so let's Spenta combo. Activate Spenta. Discard. We search Rigatoni. We normal Rigatoni. Here's the deal. If this gets ashed, you banish the Spenta and equip the Artemis. Artemis, you search the Crowley. Crowley, you special. And then you have 2 level 4 spellcasters. You can go into Wick Cap. So that's why this combo is a little safer from Ash versus like other, like the last hand was definitely like if that Luna got great end board. 1 Ash is going to kill it. Rigatoni, we're going to search Ved. And then we will immediately, on res of the search, I do have a quick effect. I'm going to activate Ved. And we're going to send, it's Jenny, 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 Jenny. And then we're going to have Jenny copy Ved. And we're going to get out the Zorora. So we've only done 2 summons. The Spenta combo is like a respect nib combo that I thought of my own brain. I was really proud of myself. This is a Raindrop exclusive. Probably not. Other people also have brains that might have thought of this. Anyway, Zorora, you're going to target the Rigatoni to equip. It honestly doesn't matter too much what you equip because you're basically just going to use that equip and the Rigatoni to go into Chorizo, that's summon 3. We banish the Spenta, and we're going to equip the Chorizo with Artemis. Artemis is going to search the Crowley. Crowley is going to be summon 4. And we are going to use his effect to fuse as summon 5 into our monster negate. So if they try to nib us or if they try to stop anything past this point, we have successfully managed to avoid that. So I'm going to go ahead and equip the Chorizo because I'm thinking ahead that if I get the Zorora out, the other Zorora, Synchro Zorora, he's lived a lot of lives, that little fireman. He has quite a few cards. Look at him, brothers. We're going to try to get your other sibling, triplets, out. I'm thinking ahead, have the fusion equipped because then they won't be able to activate fusions. That's my thinking. And then at this point, we banish Rigatoni. And we can equip the Artemis with either the Ninadu or the, we can equip the Zorora with the Artemis or the Ninadu. You just can't equip it with a level 4 spellcaster. And you wouldn't want to because then that triggers Zorora to summon a level 4 in defense position, which is why we equip him later because now we have 2 level 4s. We are not Magistus locked. And let's go ahead and do some fairy tale shenanigans and see where we end up. Overlay into Wicap. Detach 2, descend 2. Don't forget the equip spell is gonna go. What do I have in hand? I already have Match Girl in hand. Do we do 1 fuse or 2? I think maybe we do 1. And I already have Luna in hand for the other. Wait a second, this is kind of cracked. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a cracked hand. We're gonna send Tails, and we'll send once upon. I kind of want to fuse 2 times. but I don't know if it's worth it. Let's send Once Upon in Snow. That's the point of test hands. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I'm going to have enough materials. It's kind of my thing of, can I fuse twice and still get into the Zorora? That will trigger Once Upon to come here, set itself. Activate Match Girl to special. And then we're going to search the fusion spell. We will fuse. I can't fuse with the Spenta in hand as well, which I think I'm gonna have to in order to keep resources. So let's use the. Actually, Tails needs to go onto Wicap. Tails has to get equipped to Wicap because this non-level 4 spellcaster, this rank 4 spellcaster, has to get off of my field. We'll do spellcaster and fairy tale monsters. So we're gonna do Spenta and Wicap. Go into Weaver. Let's just get another Luna. Sure. Why wouldn't we? We're going to equip Tails to Weaver. That's going to allow us to do another normal summon. And here's where it's going to get a little tricky because I just realized my zones are all clogged up. Should I have done... Weaver needed to go here. Weaver needed to go there for this. I need to think ahead about how my zones are going to get clogged. I have to get Jania out is the issue because I need 2 different attributes. So let's just... I wasn't going to link. I should have put her there anyway. So we're just going to move her. And then Jania, we can target literally any of them. And then this is attached to Weaver. I want to leave a Luna out because I think that's a really good interruption. So let's... Okay, so here's... No, I'll be fine. Because I was going to say, what I'm noticing with the other combos is the Zorora, you attach the Artemis, and then you search the Crowley, and then you use those 2. I have enough material out because of the Weaver. I can actually still fuse again. Would I have enough material? I think I would. I think I have enough material to fuse again and to go into the Synchro. I have to fuse first, though, because I have to use Big Rig in order to go into the Synchro, and that's going to Magistus lock me. So let's fuse. Well, so wait, actually, I didn't mess up because I would fuse first. We don't even need a mover. I would fuse first. I forgot I had only fused that this came back from grave. Let's fuse into Teller, which is 1 light fairy tale monster and a spellcaster. Let's use these 2. And that stays. It's equipped to Weaver. I'll go into Teller. And now Jania. And now Overlay. And now we go into Big Rig. I do not have anything to discard off the for the Super Poly. Boop. Whoops. That one I probably need to sort out. And then let's go ahead. We're going to detach the Jania because if we banish her for the snow. And now, do you see what I'm saying? Now we need another Zorora. We need another Zorora in this instance because my first Zorora already got used. So we need a less high rarity Zorora. Because now we can use the Zorora and the Rigatoni, right? Doesn't that work? One spellcaster tuner and one non-tuner. She's not a tuner. He's a tuner. So then we use these ones to go into Zorora. And then, sorry, Branded. Looks like you're not going to do anything. And then we equip. Not having anything to discard off the Super Poly is kind of making my heart sad. Look how much we have in Graveyard for Snow, though. And we still have Rigatoni if we wanted to shut them off of... Oh, no, we don't have Rigatoni. So we can't... Spend us once per turn, right? You manage this card from graveyard. Yeah, once per turn. Okay, so in the grave, we have Snow. I don't know. Not having the Super Poly. Okay, so here's how this ended. We don't have a Super Poly because, I mean, I can set it to psych you out, but it's not going to do anything. Wait. We could. Okay, so I'm going to set it. Let's talk through what we could do. I'm a little tight on space. Here's what we're looking at for the end board. Opponent can activate fusions and synchro monsters. We have an Omni Negate and Destroy. We have a Monster Negate and Destroy. And we have a soft Negate and Rename. We also have, so here's what I'm thinking. If we activate Once Upon a Fairy Tale, that's going to get us Luna. This is very much a gamble for the Super Poly, I'm not going to lie. Let me move you over here, dude. That's going to get us Luna, because I don't have one in Banishment, no. But Luna can add back to hand. So if we declare, one way or another we win, because either we correctly targeted something to rename and it goes back to their hand and it messes them up, or it comes back to our hand, bada bing, bada boom, Super Poly, discard. My zones are full, so I definitely think Teller, because Snow. That is one thing about this is you can get out a ton of monsters. So I think Teller had to go there because let's say Luna doesn't come back to hand. We have Snow. Oh, also the Luna getting summoned is going to trigger Weaver to negate and rename. Snow getting summoned is going to be a Book of Moon, and we can banish the Jania and the Once Upon. So basically, we're only having to technically banish 5 because we get 2 back. So we could banish those 2. Let's see. Weaver also summons from banishment, which is why I like having another one because we could get the Match Girl off of banishment as well. Or we could get Match Girl off of banishment because Once Upon is going to set itself. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to leave the Spenta. 5, 6, 7. Get a Snow. Oh, also the reason I put everything in attack is if you have Teller out, Teller says, let me read it to you. Fairy Tale monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. And 1850 attack, they have a higher attack than defense. So yes, I'll take damage, but they're not going to be destroyed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fairy Once Upon will get reset. Jania will go to hand. Those will get banished. If Luna came back, actually, Jania comes to hand for Super Poly as well. So if you want to, if you want to make sure you have a Super Poly, you could Snow the first thing they do, get Jania back to hand. Bada bing, bada boom, or the Luna. So we do technically have 2 ways to get stuff back in hand for the Super Poly. I love this deck. I think it dies to certain hand traps. But I've also played it where it plays through a lot of hand traps, where you can have, if you know how to sequence it, I think it has a lot of gas, in the tank. Okay, I am gonna go ahead and show you the side now. I kind of just didn't want to take the time at the beginning in case you were just here to hang out with me and watch the test hands. I am always open to recommendations. I do realize that this deck will continue changing, and I am not kidding when I say, if you are someone who has been playing the game for a while, skilled player, I think this deck can do numbers. I think it's really good. I would love to see this deck do really well somewhere. I don't think I'm the one to do it. I mean, I'd have to just go. I'd have to grind more and go to more locals. If you're someone who grinds and goes to locals and goes to regionals and you want to pilot my baby, that'd be super cool. I think it could do really well. Take it to locals. Let me know how it does. Anyway, here's what I have on my side. The best card of 2017. One Theseus, because we just hate cool tunes. 3 Thrusts, Dark Ruler, Raigeki, Duster, 3 Nibs, Terraforming. This, I love this. Kind of busted. Secret Village of the Spellcaster, running 3 of those. I need one more shiny one. Shout out to my boyfriend, bought me these 2 shiny ones. Need one more shiny one though. And then also borrowing this from my boyfriend as well, because we need shine. We need shine. Talents. So 1 extra deck side, 3 Nibs. That could be another hand trap. Again, this was thrown together for a locals, and I didn't even have the Theseus at this point. I was putting the Garura in the side as a placeholder. And then we have our little Thrust package, Terraforming to help us get into Ball or to get into Secret Village, and our talents. Yeah. And that is the side deck. Oh my gosh, we're back and we're upright. Yeah, so those were the test hands. Let me know what you see and how to improve, and I really love this deck. And I could probably keep test handing all day, but alas, there's actual things. There's actual things I have to do. So yeah, thanks for joining me for the test hands. Let me know if you saw anything. I'll probably do this for Malice as well. And yeah, come on, do you want to say bye to people? Come here. Come here. Come on. Oh, why are you yawning? Oh, you live such a hard life. So hard to tell the people. Shit, my mommy did my nails this morning and I hated it. And she cleaned my wrinkles and my ears. It was so traumatic. It was so traumatic. He's just so exhausted from the trauma of this morning. Okay, we'll see you on the next one. Oh. Bye.